Yo, I'm Kavam.
Yo, I'm Rash.
And welcome to the Before Our Friends Die podcast on the akhi&saltfish digital network. This is the platform where we have the conversations we want to have before we leave this planet.
With that in mind, let's go.
Let's go.
Yo.
Rochelle, how's it going, man?
Chilling as normal. What are you saying?
I'm good. Listen, we always open up the podcast like that. We need to figure it out.
We gotta do something else.
Talk with the podcast. 12 episodes.
It's been 12.
It's been 12.
Well, 12 released.
12 released, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
6 episodes Before Our Friends Die, 6 episodes of SOFA Senseis, and 0 episodes of Cool.Fine.Done.Wicked. So let's
yeah, we're finding it a bit difficult.
Let's break it down then. Let's break it down.
Copyright issues.
Yeah. Let's start with Before Our Friends Die. Obviously, way back in January, we released the Lunar New Year episode.
Yep.
What are your reflections of that period of time?
It's crazy, isn't it? I think it's improved so much.
Why?
I don't know. Well, obviously, that episode, I was not even there. I was over Bluetooth.
I forgot about that.
I was over Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I think I come back from work a bit late and just couldn't make it. Had things on. But yeah, now we actually, not actually, but we make time, try and fill it in on our timetable.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes we hit and miss.
Yeah.
Something comes up, it happens, that's life. But yeah, I think, we've done a good job so far, I believe.
And also as well, like...
And shout out to everyone who's been on it.
Yeah, thanks to all the guests, first of all. That's the biggest thing. And all the listeners as well. Like, if you're actually spending your time to listen to this and hear what me and Rachel have to say, listen, I can't explain how much we appreciate it, man. Like, you know, yes, we put in the work to make this happen and get this out.
Yeah.
But you guys put in the work that makes it worth it as well. So thank you so much for that. Lunar New Year.
Yep.
My house was completely different.
Yeah.
So for context, let me not give you too much context about the floor plans in my house, right? But there was one room. Now that room is 2 rooms.
Sick.
And one of those rooms is a podcast studio /office. Do you think it's easier now that I'd ask for my mum £15 a time to get out of the room?
100%, man.
Yeah, man.
Remember that time we paid, you paid her 15 quid and the guest didn't show up?
Yeah. And actually, that's probably one of the biggest challenges so far of doing this podcast is scheduling. Like, I completely underestimated how difficult it would be to get 3 people in a room, at least 3, sometimes 4 or 5, in a room at one time.
Because everyone's busy, man.
Everyone's
Things
busy.
come up.
Yeah.
Everyone's got life, work, everything. It just happens, man.
And I tell you what, you know, that was probably one of the best skills I've developed, is just that ability to be able to schedule.
Yeah, 100%. But I've cancelled enough times.
Yeah.
Something's come up, yo, man, come on, I can't make it, apologise, we're trying to do something. Like, normally we record on a Sunday, don't we?
Yeah.
In the evening.
Mm-hmm.
But today, what is it, Thursday?
It's Thursday.
I thought, yo, because I've been slacking for the past 2 weeks because of work and all this stuff. And I was like, no, man, I need to make some time. Kavan's putting in work as well with social media, all of this. He does a lot of the editing and pretty much everything, to be honest. So I thought, nah, you know what? We need to put some episodes in.
Yeah, man.
I need to make some time. We can't just keep doing Sunday. Look, I had nothing to do this week. I was going to literally just chill, do nothing. I thought, what's the point of doing nothing?
Yeah, do
Let me get something done.
Do you
get me? And obviously, Kavan, I know, I rang Kavan, boom, ready to record.
And you know what as well? Like, if we go back to that first episode, Lunar New Year,
Ooh.
Brittany, man.
Shout out to Brittany, man.
Yeah,
No,
man.
she's been on an episode, at least
thank you.
twice now, isn't it?
My Brittany, yeah. She's on 2 episodes so far.
2 episodes, yeah. Shout out,
Yeah.
man. She's, cool, legend.
Yeah, so she came on and you know, she's really open and honest about her culture. And actually, Dagat Daile, if you remember, it's the Cantonese phrase to do with, I think it's like loads of luck if you have tangerines. Like tangerines.
Say that again. What's it?
Dagat Daile.
Dagat Daile.
I hope that's right. Brittany's not here to correct me if I'm wrong.
The orange peel thing.
Yeah, but that's now like sitting in my kitchen, orange peel in salt, ready to be used as throat candy when they're ready in about a year's time. So you know, we've genuinely adapted to the Lunar New Year.
Have you opened it since?
No.
That's crazy.
But it was really interesting as well. And not only did I share that with my group of friends, and actually, as it stands, that's still our biggest episode yet, nearly on 100 listens alone.
Is that the best one?
Biggest one, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. What am I saying? So yeah, I shared it with work as well, and it was really good to be able to say to work, like, yeah, like, as a community, we should be learning about the Lunar New Year. And actually, I've been lucky enough to have a girlfriend who's you know, willing to put her information out there, and also have a friend in Rachel who's willing to go on this endeavor with me to also explore the Lunar New Year. So it's been a great experience for both of us, and particularly for those sorts of reasons as well. Episode 2 was... Can you remember? Because I'm struggling.
You know what? I'm slacking here.
Episode 2
You know what?
of Before Our Friends Die.
Spotify, man.
Well, it might have been Sofa Sensei, you know. I think it was.
Was
I
it?
think the second one that came out was Sofa Sensei's with Nico.
Yes, it was.
Big up Nico as well, by the
Shout
way.
out to my man, innit? He won his last fight, didn't he?
He did indeed.
Shout out.
Team Shoebox in the deco on I want to say the 8th of May. Yeah, he really smashed it. So well done to him, man. Well done to him. And well done to the rest of the team of Shoebox.
That was a funny episode,
put on a great show.
That was a funny episode. Funny guy, man.
So Nico's episode is interesting because actually the room was almost half done at that point, but it was still like a definite building site. So it was difficult to sort of invite guests in and say hi. Sorry, like please forgive us. We do have a professional setup, but this isn't it yet. He was a really energetic guy. Great talker as well. Like
proper
fantastic
natural,
talker.
isn't he?
Yeah,
He's ready. He's ready for the big screen.
He's funny. He knew exactly how to get his point across, and yeah, fantastic guest, man. And you know what I've noticed, and I hope this is true.
What?
But obviously, I keep track of all the numbers, right? And I'm making sure that things are going where they should be. Nico's is always going up.
Is it?
Always going up. So he definitely shares it himself, and that's been a massive thing. Like when the guests share the episodes, they get so much more traction.
He probably put it in a like shoebox group chat.
He's doing something.
Yeah,
because the numbers keep climbing. Climbing. So
sick.
thanks to Nico. We're really grateful for that as well. Like
first fighter, man. First fighter on the
first fighter on the Sofa Sensei spot. Like that's going to be huge. One day, Sofa Sensei is going to be at UFC events. We're going to be at boxing events. That's make it known, right?
Yeah.
But also, Nico was our first ever fighter, and actually, credit to him because he reached out to me the other day, and because in the title I said whatever I said about Nico. What's it called? Read out for me the title. Do you remember?
Get to know Nico. No, actually, Nico and Michael on his controversial last fight, future plans, and something.
Being on the chase, yeah. But I originally wrote being on the cube. I originally wrote being on the chase, and he had to correct me because I thought it was a chase and it was the cube. So sorry to Nico.
You did the chase.
But, yeah.
Oh my days.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me as well.
But
it's little details like that.
at least you looked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Having to get the titles right, having to get the descriptions done. It's all a lot of work, and I don't say that to complain. I say that to just give a little bit of perspective on how we do things over here. So yeah, appreciate Nico for that one. Number 3 would have been get to know Nico.
Yeah, bonus one.
And that was really interesting again to ask him those questions. And do you know what? For me, the value in those added questions is it just gives you that extra layer of who this person is. Like obviously we ask particular questions around a particular topic on most episodes, but then to just ask those generic blanket questions of who inspires you, or who is the richest person in your phone book, or who has the most potential around you. That's really, really valuable for me because it gives you, as a listener, different perspectives, and you can take something from all of our guests, I believe.
Yep. And what was the next one? We had nationwide pledges for change.
Oi, big up Prince and Rachel.
Unfortunately, I missed out on that one.
Yeah, so again, that's one of the scheduling conflicts. We're dealing with then sort of corporate guests who have sort of we had to do that one during the workday because I can't expect these people to then take time out of their actual actual lives to come and do a podcast with us. So we had to be accommodating of that. Rachel obviously couldn't make that one, but all the same, he contributed to the questions, and it was good to have his input at the start, and also obviously get the episode out there all the same. Fantastic guest. Rachel came here in person. She's not from Northampton.
Where's she from?
I don't know. I think I want to say London, but I'm not too sure.
She came all the way from London?
No, she might be around Swindon. I don't really know.
Okay, yeah.
Don't really know.
Still.
Maybe Rachel will email us in and let us know where you're from. Prince was here virtually. And that was the first one, other than Rachel calling in, where we had an actual virtual person via Microsoft Teams. So it was nice to be able to test that out and figure that all out.
And I'm so happy that we bought that.
Yeah, man.
Imagine if we didn't buy that.
Bro, the Rodecaster Pro is an amazing piece of kit.
Shout out to Troy, man.
Yeah. Shout out to, so for those that don't know the story, we may as well go back through it. So Rachel and I, we've been wanting to make this podcast for a long, long period of time. Tell the story, Rachel.
Yeah. It's been years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I would say years, and then one day thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get it done. We forced ourselves to go to, what's that shop called?
PMT.
It's a music shop. They've got loads of gear there, man. Pianos, anything music-wise, pod-wise, that's a place to go. And then obviously, Cavan's brother came through because he did a lot of recording back in the day. Probably still does, I'm not sure.
Well, just for the record, if you don't know, he produced the Sofa Sensei's intro.
Was that Troy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was your other brother.
No.
Oh, sick guy. That's a hard beat.
Wait till it gets aggressive. Yeah? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not paying you, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he recommended a few equipment. Obviously, the guy, I forgot his name completely.
Yeah, lost.
He was really good, though.
Chris.
Was it Chris?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, he gave us he gave us advice as well. Troy was there. He knew what's a good brand. We were gonna buy the cheaper model,
Yeah, because as you
and then
do,
Troy was like, "What's the point? What's the point in buying it twice?"
just for the record, the cheaper model had like 2 mic inputs, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think it had Bluetooth. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. No.
Yeah, I
Two
don't-
two mic inputs, and what the equipment you use now has 4.
Yeah, it has 4. It has
Um,
Bluetooth. So imagine the pledge one. Prince wouldn't be
It
able
has-
to speak, innit?
These buttons.
He would have had to actually come in. Yeah, the magic buttons. But yeah, shout out to him, man. He gave a sense like, what's the point if you're gonna do this? Do it properly.
Yeah, exactly.
He gave us like, what's the point in buying something twice?
Lesson in life: the
Okay.
cheapest always ends up the dearest. Buy cheap, buy twice.
Exactly.
If you can do something, do it right.
Yeah, and he did, and I think he plugged us some wires, cables as well, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, so Troy also got us our 3rd mic, which has been great for episodes like like
Molly-
Nico,
Yeah. Okay.
type 1 diabetes.
Yep.
It's been really useful for those things. So and house
Actually,
renovations,
I love-
humours.
Literally every episode that we had a guest,
Yeah, it's been
his
useful.
mic came in handy.
So perhaps Troy is owed a percentage.
Sorry, Troy.
You have to speak to my lawyer,
Hey.
PI Staker.
Now shout out to Troy, man. Shout out to Troy.
Yeah. So then, obviously, it's been really for me. It's been great to be able to develop that ability to have conversations long form. To not only develop relationships, but also to develop personal branding as well. Like I say to people in conversations, it's probably a bit of a dick phrase, right? But say I've got this podcast and I've had this conversation about pledges for change. So I just really want to share this episode with you. What's your email? And I don't know if people listen to it. I check the numbers and numbers don't lie. But it's been well received again. I shared that one with work. I shared that one with the Gem Staff Network. And what that has led to is a movement within my workplace where we all try and pledge for change as well. So for me, it's been really impactful and really valuable. What was the next episode?
Get to know Brittany.
Oh yeah, get to know me, you and Brittany. So we asked ourselves those questions. You remember?
Yeah. Them questions.
What are your thoughts on that?
It was alright, man. It was good, innit? It was fun, innit? And it's the same questions that we ask all the guests now.
Yeah. After that one, Rochelle called me and said he thinks that's one of our best episodes yet.
Yes, I really loved it, man. It just felt so natural. It just felt good, man.
Yeah, I think I listened to that one, and
I think to me personally, it's probably my best to date. But it just felt natural. We're just talking. Like, do you know how? Imagine them convos that you have with mates and you wish it was just recorded.
yeah,
Just go back and experience it.
that's
one more
exactly
time.
what I was going to
That's how
say.
it felt. It just felt natural. To be honest, I think the convo we had, I can't remember it too much, but I mean, it just felt so natural. Like I didn't feel like the mic was there. We had some jokes there as well, man. Some funny banter.
Do you feel like you've got better over time then?
Yes, sometimes I can slack.
Don't be too hard on yourself, man.
No, but I've got to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that was a very good episode. I think
It was.
if I'm like this 24/7 in each episode, it would be amazing. I think, but I do because I don't like doing presentations and all of this. This is still all new to me. Obviously, your character, you do a lot of presentations in work. And
But this is skills development, isn't it? This is
yeah,
what we're
100%,
here for. This is what we're here
100%.
for.
Because you and me know I can talk.
Yeah, for real.
Me and you can talk. We've had
Sometimes-
some good combos.
when no one's there, when you
shut up, bro.
When you want to get dinner, man, just chatting. But
Shut
like,
up,
all right,
man.
mate. All right.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, just to get used to it, because I think when guests come on, you probably see because not all episodes that we recorded and released are in order. Some like
Yeah.
the Nico one was later, but
Yeah.
we put
Put it
that out
second.
there because time schedule and everything as well. But yeah, you'd probably see, this guy sounds alright there. What? It's gone a bit down, but it's all new. Still trying to get better at it. It's an experience, isn't it?
You said something just there, yeah, about you couldn't remember the exact topic of conversation. Bro, that is the hardest thing, yeah. We do a podcast.
Yeah.
I might mention it in conversation. Someone said, "Oh, what do you talk about?" I'm like,
Bruh, I don't even know.
I can't remember. Like, and because we don't release them right away. Sofa Senseis, we do release them
Yeah,
right
we try
away.
to, yeah,
Like, particularly like the fight reviews and the fight previews, they get released on the day because it's just easier, obviously. But with like particularly before Our Friends Die, like Molly and Martha's episode was recorded. I want to say the end of January.
Is it end of Jan?
No, maybe end of Feb.
Yeah.
But it got released May. So I have to put that episode out with confidence that everything I said in there isn't going to lose me a job, isn't going to, ruin my life. I don't remember what I said 4 months ago.
100%.
So, it's a challenge, and sometimes that requires listening back. So then I've had the conversation about 3-4 times by the time it's out. But all these things are valuable. And I suppose we just want to give you some perspective. Obviously, we haven't yet figured out how to do video. We are testing it right now as we do this episode. So
We don't even know if it's still recording.
yeah, I don't know. My iCloud is full by now. I bet you.
Yeah.
But we're just figuring it out, and yeah, bit by bit, I think we're getting better. So what was next?
We've got Fury versus White. Sofa Sensei.
Preview.
Yeah, I think was it the preview?
It must
Prediction.
be.
Yeah.
So
Preview.
imagine that was like the first episode we did in the new room when it was painted.
It was, innit? And we had a special guest, Ronald.
No, we didn't. Not for that one.
Yeah, we did.
He came for the review.
Review, my bad.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So it was me and you. We came through. We did that episode. I sat over there rather than on the sofa.
yes,
so
and
the
I
first
sat
one.
over here. Yeah. That was the first time. Yeah, in the new room, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was really nice, man. It was really nice, and we got the screen obviously with the logo. So
Yeah, and we were so gassed about the fight.
yeah, it was sick, man. It was an amazing time to be able to get our first prediction show in for SOFA Sensei, and I really like the format actually on that show.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. And then obviously it was the review.
Yeah.
Review of the fight.
So we watched the fight live in the studio, and then we jumped straight on and we did a nice episode reviewing it.
It was a quick one as well.
Yeah,
It was a quick one.
if I'm being honest, it was probably too quick. And the reason I say that is because I listened back to that episode and I think, I should have said this. I could have also said this, and I should have said this. And that's just because in the heat of the moment, when the adrenaline is popping,
We wanted it.
I couldn't get my point across.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, for instance, if I compare it to the UFC 274 review, that was the day after I'd had a chance to check Twitter, check YouTube, figure out my own thoughts, and then get an episode out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting to sort of look at the difference between those two.
And then we had obviously we asked the questions to Ronald.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Get to know Ronald.
Again, Ronald's one of our longest friends, isn't he?
100%.
He's always a deep thinker. He's got a kid on the way, so I'm very
Shout
mindful
out.
that he's got so many things on his mind, and it was actually quite interesting to be able to get his perspective on, like, bro, like, when are you at your best? You got married almost 2 years ago.
Sick.
You got a kid on the way.
Yep.
You've just bought a house. Like, your life he's moving at such a different pace to us.
100, you know.
And it's amazing to see. It's amazing to be part of his journey and also to document some of these things.
Yeah. When he actually becomes a dad,
Yeah.
that's a good part.
It's sick. Like, we'll be able to check in back with him and say, yo, like, how is it being a dad? And I think one of the biggest things for us in making these podcasts was just to have long form, consistent conversations with our networks. And obviously the hope is to expand our networks. I didn't know Nico really before this podcast.
No, we
now-
knew him from school.
Yeah, but not really.
But
and
yeah,
now
whatever.
I check in with him and see how his fight is going. And how
Yeah,
his-
now I've got him on Instagram
cool.
and I'm seeing his fights, innit? Yeah, shout out again. You won.
Boom, 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 boom.
What was the next one? This is the one I missed out on, man. Sofa Sensei Canelo.
Oh yeah.
So
So
it was UFC as well.
yeah. So hear this one. So again, scheduling conflicts. Rochelle was busy. He just started a new job. He hasn't got the time to sort of come in and do a pod, right? But it's the day before the fight, I think. So I had to get something out for Sofa Sensei. Like, again, this is one of our big passions is combat sports. So what we want to do is make sure we stay consistent with these things, and that's probably the biggest challenge of a podcast. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%.
Staying consistent.
Deep it. I got so busy, I forgot Canelo was fighting.
Mad.
The only reason I knew when I saw this and I saw the Instagram, it's mad.
Man saw his own podcast and was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Canelo fighting?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It was weird talking to myself. I sat on my desk over there.
Yeah.
It was weird talking to myself. I'm on show. I have no one to sort of bounce off, and I can't laugh at my own jokes.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how the episode come across. If you've got some feedback for us, please do contact us at akhi&saltfish@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And while you're here, you may as well give us a 5-star review on whatever you listen to this, because it really helps us out.
Yep.
But yeah, Sofa Sensei's, do you know what? It's doing quite well, numbers wise.
Is it?
That episode's doing quite well. Really, it slotted in really well with what we're trying to do with social media as well, and post relevant content around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Chandler's a bloody animal, so posting pictures of him knocking someone out is really gets us a lot of traction all the time. So yeah, thanks to Michael Chandler for your help.
Sick. The next episode we had the Molly and Martha, diabetes.
Well, we had no,
No, that was the next one.
Before that, didn't we have Sofa Sensei's review?
No, that came out after.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Actually, for the preview of Sofa Sensei's UFC 274, that was because we just hit 250 views as well. So although obviously we try and do one episode a week, we thought we'd throw out an extra one just to say thank you, I suppose. Molly and Martha, what are your reflections on that one?
Yeah, that was a good one,
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was good. I haven't seen Molly or Martha in a while, so it's a good catch up as well. And obviously some of the stuff we talked about, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mad, I didn't know. And shout out their connection on Instagram.
Yeah, let's get into that. Listen, Molly, I don't know how to say this without saying too much, but listen, incredibly grateful for her to come on here and share her story. Like, Rachel, you and I have got stories that we're hesitant to share on here, right?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And they're personal. And Molly's story about type 1 diabetes is personal, but she felt encouraged enough and safe enough to be able to share that with us, and we are really grateful. That has its own personal implications in terms of us sharing it amongst friends. But one thing I've really noticed is people have come up to me and said, actually, I have type 1 diabetes. One colleague at work said, I was in hospital with my grandmother the day that podcast came out, funnily enough, about type 1 diabetes.
What was it?
She's had some complications with her foot. And she was like, it's so strange that you did a podcast on that day. And just to be able to have that conversation, have a real connection with a colleague over this podcast has been amazing. And that's all because of Molly being able to share her story. And obviously Martha coming on as well and supporting her sisters, amazing to see. I think by the time you hear this, you would have heard their Get to Know episode. And I listened to it earlier, and it's like they really do lift the women in their surroundings and their network. Like the people they're inspired by and the people they believe have the most potential are all women. And it's amazing to see them create such strong bonds with themselves and also with those around them. So thank you for your support with that episode. It's doing great things. And like Rachel mentioned, Heidi Jane, the person who Molly mentioned in the podcast, she, I don't even know how to say this again without sounding really thankful. She shared it with a following of 30,000 people on Instagram.
Sick. Shout out.
Are you mad? Like,
shout out, man. Shout out.
I'm gonna break the button because like it's like mad.
I was gassed when you did that,
bro. Same.
Yeah.
We do this in a home office. Yeah, chatting into mics, chatting into a colourful device.
We didn't tag her. We didn't give it. That was Molly. And
Molly DM'd her.
Yeah, that's it.
So again,
shout out to Molly.
That's the power of, like I said, when the guests share their content, it does really, really well.
It does.
Molly went out of her way to contact Heidi Jane and say, hi, I mentioned you in a podcast. Heidi listened to that podcast, clipped the part where she was mentioned, put it on her Instagram, 30,000 people. And actually, that's probably our top 3 before our friends die, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, top 3, top 2.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? So and it's only growing. It's actually what I did as well. That's in my signature as well at work. So anytime someone gets an email from me,
boom,
Type 1 Diabetes podcast is there. Yeah, really grateful for that. After that, we jumped the review of UFC 274. Really tired on that day.
Yeah, because them fights are like super
mate. What you don't realize as well is when that episode was first uploaded, for some reason the platform we used to upload podcasts, it clipped half the episode. Bruh, I was fuming at 10 p.m. on Sunday. Yeah, where I click on it and it's like 13 minutes. No.
Where is it?
I was talking for 28 minutes. What's going on? Anyway, re-uploaded it. It was fine. But these are the sort of challenges we have to deal with. Like, add to call Brittany. Brittany, test it out for me. What does it say on your Spotify? Do you know what I mean? All these little things, like all these, like building the thumbnails and it's long, but it's really good as well. Because for me, content creation is something I'm really passionate about. Particularly fight sports, I'm really passionate about. Getting to know people, I'm passionate about, and music. But we'll get to Cool.Fine.Done.Wicked.
We'll get there.
What are your thoughts on Cool.Fine.Done.Wicked? How do you see that going?
We need to figure it out, man.
Yeah, I've got a video we need to watch to figure that out.
Yeah, like I think most of our time has gone on Before Our Friends Die and SOFA Senseis.
Yeah.
And we probably not putting too much time into that because we know it's a difficult one.
Yeah, we're avoiding the
hurdles. It's all that
copyright
and all that rubbish in the way to review music or any sort of art. If you know what I mean.
It's really tough, yeah.
That's what it is. And I feel like you come to the point, I can't be arsed with that element because we know it's so. Our pod could just go on that episode, couldn't it? That episode. Imagine we put something up, we put time and effort into it.
Yeah.
And it just disappears because we've got copyrighted. Or
but you know what as well, like it's something I really want to do. And
yes,
I don't really want to get right.
A lot of people do it, so there's obviously a way to do it.
There's a way, yeah. We just don't know it.
There's definitely a way. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
There's probably a loophole somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like I'm laughing about this, but I saw some guy. I think there was a boxing match, so he went on Facebook Live, but he recorded for a mirror, and then in the mirror you can see the fight.
Mad thing.
So I don't know what happened to him, but it's just something like.
I see one guy who's streaming UFC.
Loopholes.
one guy streaming UFC,
Yeah.
and he made it set up like he was playing a game, the EA
Nah,
Sports
this
game.
brother.
It was a real fight. He's like, X, whatever he's doing. I don't know how you play games, but yeah, it was quite cool. It was quite funny. But yeah, and obviously we've got
Dana Sudis.
Dana finished him off, bro. Obviously, we've also got videos to develop as well. We want to make sure we get the video content right.
That's obviously the new thing, because we've always had the plan to go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think YouTube, there's more audience, isn't it?
It's a very fertile platform for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, if you get it right, more views, more listens.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool.
And I think one thing we aim for is really building a community around the 3 different episodes, around the 3 different podcasts,
100%. And I want to be more comfortable.
You think so?
Yeah, on this, because I know you're good at presentations. That's you.
Oh, you want to be more comfortable?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Listen.
Obviously, there's always room for improvement.
Bro, I want to walk in a room and be able to have a conversation with someone confident, bro. And that's what we're developing. We're developing that ability to just keep a conversation going, bro.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I notice it with the way I speak to colleagues now.
You're a bit more confident.
Yeah.
But does that come over time anyway? But I guess that's the same thing, isn't it?
And if it does come over time, we're fast tracking it with this.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's I suppose, a short little review. The biggest challenge has been scheduling, getting things in order. But one thing we did to combat that, because we knew it was going to be a problem, is we built a bank of episodes, okay?
Sick.
Which is why if you go on our story, Aki and SOFA
I'm
on
so
Instagram,
happy. How many did we bank?
about 12.
About 12.
Yeah.
And now we banked like 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
If we do the first one. It's a bit iffy.
We'll see.
But I mean, yeah, exactly. We just banked another 3 like that. It's so simple.
Do you know what I mean? So we're trying to get ahead of ourselves.
But it does take time though, because look, probably doing it for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bro, we put these episodes in, yeah, upload them to the computer, save them on something. I don't want to tell you what we save them actually, just in case someone gets upset. But yeah, we save them on a device, and then we upload them to Anchor, which is our platform that we use. Obviously, we need to create the cover art, we need to create descriptions, and then we schedule them. That's our process.
And shout out to Kavan, man. He does a lot. Well, he does most of it, to be honest. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing much, but I feel like he's good at it. And it's not an excuse. I should do more of it. I'm not going to lie. But shout out to Kavan, man.
I'm not going to tell man off on the podcast. That's embarrassing. Like, obviously, man's a 50-50 partner. Yo, I'm 50-50, nifty. Got the best deal. Nobody can twist me. Listen. You know about Wiley, innit? Yeah, man, like... talking of Wiley, just briefly.
Yeah.
You see there's a warrant out for his arrest.
Oh, allow it again.
Yeah, because he didn't turn up to the court, yeah?
The first one?
Yeah. So they didn't turn up to court, and then he starts posting on Twitter, this is me on my way to court, and there's some random man driving on some breakdown car on the motorway, like... Yeah, anyway, Wiley's a funny guy. Bless him. Yeah, that's it. That is it. That has been Before Our Friends Die on the akhi&saltfish Digital Network.
Shout out.
Quick review of where we're at, and hopefully you learned a little bit of background about our processes, how we work. It's not long to produce a podcast, so if you're thinking about it, get in touch and we can help you out. We're obviously not experts. We're 12 episodes deep, but we're getting there. Videos are coming soon. Sponsorship is coming soon. Growth is coming soon. And we really appreciate you checking in with us and just being here along the journey. So thank you so much. Take care. Good night. Love.